Being on a major label, producing tracks for Puba, how did life change for you after that album came out? Or artists now seeking
It
production?
changed. It changed in the sense of just having legitimate finances. But the thing with me back then, I was a degenerate gambler, so I blew all that fucking money. So you getting 10, 20,000 a track. You might be getting 3 placements a month. You're making 60,000 a month, 40,000 a month. It's 12 months in a year. I kind of messed up. So, and then it was so easy, and
Mm.
then I took it for granted. Coming from some kind of money and grinding, I didn't. I thought it was gonna be like that forever. So, um, it was cool. You around celebrities. You don't give a shit. I just didn't give a shit. I don't care about celebrities because when I found out a celebrity's life is worse than yours, yo, it's terrible. Their
Right,
life is their life is terrible, bro.
right. Now getting these
All of
big
them.
getting these big placements around this time. What's the goal with Money Boss Players? Did you guys ever sign a major label deal?
Yeah, we went with the people that gave us the money, but it was stupid. We went with Quincy, man, and they didn't know what they. Man, Quincy Jones's label was so trash. Quest
What was that,
Records,
Quest? Yeah.
trash. They
Mm,
paid us. I think they gave us 750 or 850,
mm,
but they were trash. Just as human, the people they hired. No, I don't know what they're doing now. The Prasad brothers, some Indian brothers. It was a big fat lady. She would come to our sessions. Oh my god! Came into a session one day. She had live musicians playing over my sample.
mm.
Kicked them out. Cursed her out. Sorry, lady, whoever you are. I forgot her name. Um, but Quest was trash for hip hop.
Mm.
Trash. God.
what
We
eventually
never
happened? What
we
eventually
never
happened?
met Quincy. Go ahead.
What eventually happened to the album and the deal?
Uh, it went away. We fought with them a lot. We were hard. Imagine being a kid who went to Harvard and you got an A&R job, and now they're sending you in the studio with these fucking ex-criminals from the Bronx in 1995, and we're saying shit like, yo, shut the fuck up. Get out. We doing the music like this. No, we're not doing that. No, we only doing the music with Minnesota or Father Time. Like, we were just actual niggas. Like, so it was hard crossing that bridge. I might have been the only one who was a little diplomatic and I tried to work things out. But it got to once I got fed up, the rest of the crew was like, all right, Minnie's fed up, we could go. So they would kick the Prasad brothers out. They would curse them out. I think the lady got called a fat bitch. Yeah, we were technical difficulties.
right. Now, around this time, I'd like to highlight some of your production throughout the years. 96, you guys landed on the America's Dying Slowly soundtrack. Talk a little bit about that time.
Renee McClain and his wife. Renee McClain ends up being the guy who runs all the DJs nationwide. But Renee McClain, we still got a good. I haven't seen him like that, but we still have a good relationship to this time. We just haven't seen him. But Renee was fair. He got us that gig. I don't know if it was him or his wife. I think it might have been his wife. Because look, it's funny. Hold on, let me go get the album. It's right here.
All
I'll
right.
tell you about that. It's funny that you mentioned that. It's right here too. I'll put it right here.
Dope.
America is dying slowly. And we got a song called Money Boss Players Games on here.
Mm-hmm.
You look it up, the Money Boss Players Games. And I blacked out on that. I can't say what the sample was because I never cleared it. But it was for an AIDS charity. But bro, listen. Um Quest didn't really work out for us, man, because we were just actual penologists and we didn't know industry behavior, you
Mm,
know?
right.
I didn't know it was a moist mafia at the time, you know? Nah, and the first guys who wanted to manage us it was Tim Dog Patterson, Mark Pitts. This was Puffy guys.
But
We're
negative.
supposed to be we're supposed to be with them. So we do a show at a spot called the Red Zone. So it's DJ Triple C, Lord Tariq, Baby J, and me. It says no money boss plays. It's the four better crew because it's four of us. So Jessica Rosenbaum, who after the Red Zone, it was the tunnel. We was on our way. We was early. My man Triple C was in front of Funkmaster Flex. So, they go to do the show. The tape is queued up. I got my back turned. I'm at the DJ booth. One of Kid Capri's guys came in to touch the tape. I'm up in the booth arguing with him. I try to get it back to the part. Music came on all wrong. Threw the whole crew off. Nigga said, boo! Started throwing shit on stage. Triple C had a Moet bottle. Threw that Moet bottle in the crowd and cracked somebody in the head. And at the time, we didn't know Eric Beasley. It cracked. It hit Eric Beasley's shoulder. It hit somebody else in the head. That's how we got cool with Eric Beasley. So that was the end. Jessica Rosenbaum was like, oh, no, get them niggas out of here. It was over for Triple C. When it was over for Triple C, this is how Funkmaster Flex moves in. So that's the story of how Flex moved in. Another Bronx DJ, you know, of course, the whole galaxy knows him now.
Right.
King of New York, you know? But yeah, at the Red Zone, that's how all that went down. What's the question again? I'm sorry.
Just that time around the America's Dying Slowly soundtrack.
Yes. America's Dying Slowly. That was when we worked with the first people we met in the industry was like Kevin Mitchell, Eric Beasley, Renee McClain. We got cool with some people. And then the other guy who was our guy from childhood, I know you know the big light guy looked like Fat Joe with the freckles. That's our guy, Sean Pecos. He went to school with us. We was all in high school together. He was working down at G Street, and then he actually ran with us, and that's how he got back up in the Universal building.
Right.
But yeah, Sean is our guy. So, that's that history. So
right.
You
also grew up with Big Pun, is that correct?
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about an early Big Pun before he was rhyming.
Puerto Rican criminal in a black housing project. In Soundview growing up, it was like 3 or 4 Puerto Rican families. I mean, Sociable and Tito, who were 2 Puerto Rican stick-up kids, gangsters. Sonny and Bola. Then there was Chris. Chris come up with us. He was younger. Chris. I gotta start with Big Pun's uncle. He was my baseball coach, Wimpy. Wimpy was the record boy for the Cold Crush. So he enlisted his sister, Angie, which is Pun's aunt. Angie and Wimpy, they worked with the Cold Crush. They came into the neighborhood. Wimpy was the first one recording the sessions. And when he brought those tapes back, he started selling them to the dope boys on the block. And you would hear them playing that shit in the big radio. I put my radio in the window to record it. It's 1981. And before the year is done, that was hip hop in the Soundview area went straight into Pun's house first because it went to his uncle. So I can imagine him as a little baby listening to this because I'm putting my radio in the window to record the tapes that Big Pun's uncle is selling to the guys who selling dope downstairs. So it was a big deal because there was no such thing as a mixtape. So Big Pun's uncle spawned a guy named Tape Master. Tape Master took it to another level. And Pun was a regular Puerto Rican kid, but you had to be tough. Like in my neighborhood, Soundview in the 70s and early 80s was full of bullies. You had to fight. You just had to fight. If you weren't tough, you were going to be tough. Somebody's going to punch you in your nose. You're playing 2-hand touch. Niggas is tackling you. It was a bunch of foul children. That was Soundview growing up. There was a lot of fighting. So Pun was a tough Puerto Rican. He wasn't always fat. He was some in shape dude with a 6-pack. But don't quote me on this. I think that he was getting chased by the police. He jumped out the window and he broke his legs. Or he broke one leg or both legs. When he broke his legs, that's when he put the first initial weight on.
Mm.
But he was some dude that was the Papi Chulo nigga. Played football. We play manhunt. We fight. After catching about 2 or 3 cases, because the 80s was like a revolving door, in and out, get out of here. After catching about 2 or 3 cases, he started working in a pizza shop on my block for the Italian Umberto and Iggy, the two
Mm.
Italian guys. Cool Italians too. I used to always clash with them. I used to have the black-white thing going with them. I go in there and bother them. I regret that shit now. They ended up opening a pizza shop on 169th in Washington after they left Soundview, and 180th, where they still are now. They on 180th and off of Southern Boulevard, like Daly Avenue over there. So Pun worked for them, and then he just up and vanished one day. And I didn't see him again. Before that, him living in the neighborhood, tough Puerto Rican, cool Puerto Rican, could be outside like freestyling a little bit, but it was nothing. It was a joke. I didn't take him as a serious MC. I didn't look at him like that. He was just Chris. Dirty Chris. That was his name. Dirty Chris. That was, you know how you got a nickname? That was because he got wild white boy hair, like mangy. His hair would always be mangy. So when he vanished from Soundview, I bump into him years later. I'm on Southern Boulevard and I hear somebody mimicking the way my grandmother would call me out the window. Mark! So I'm looking. He's going like this. So I'm walking closer. And when I get down the block, I'm like, yo, Chris, what happened to you? He was like, yo, my name is not Chris anymore. It's oh man, he had an ill rap. I can't think of the rap name. Like it wasn't Big Punisher. He has some ill rap name. I can't think of it right now. I've said it in other interviews, but when we started kicking it, I kept in contact with him, and I had a beat CD right there on the spot, and I handed it to him. And when I handed it to him, he just calls me one day like, yo, I got my deal with Loud. I want this record. And that was it. And when I went in the studio with him, it's crazy because I was sleeping on him, bro, because that shit was crazy. It was
Right.
crazy. I was sleeping on him, bro. And that shit, like, even when he did the record, man, I'm not a player. I just fuck a lot. I'm looking at him like, you're 300 pounds. Who are you fucking? I couldn't. No, I'm serious, man. I couldn't get it because he's my guy. Like, I'm still wondering, like, how did you get a deal? And I'm not. He was nice, but it was under. I think naturally we can underestimate people we knew and grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the back of my mind, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. This is not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
It worked.
Wow.
Word. You know what I'm saying? So that was a crazy thing because our relationship was children. And in the beginning of the crack era, and then he vanished. He worked in a pizza shop and then he just disappeared. And then he resurfaces as it wasn't Big Punisher. I'm trying to think of the name he had. It was a whack name too. Like real whack, bro. But that nigga's a bad motherfucker. And then when I do my mental backtracking, I have to attribute his talent and his niceness to for the whole Soundview area. The hip hop came in through his house because of his Uncle Wimpy. There was a bunch, you know how Spanish people live. There'd be a bunch of them in the house like Mexicans. It was his moms, it was Angie, it was her sister, it was Wimpy, it was the parents, the grandmother. That house was loaded with Puerto Ricans and Cubans. Because he's and I don't know where this Puerto Rican shit come from, because he was Puerto Rican and Cuban.
Right.
He wasn't full blood Puerto Rican. He was Puerto Rican. We always knew them as the Cuban family coming up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We call him Cuban Chris or Dirty Chris. It wasn't no Puerto Rican Chris. You know what I'm saying? Like, even before he died, he said to me one day, he was like, Mark, I did what Joe wanted. I brought in the Puerto Ricans. Now it's time to get money. Because when his publishing went to Joe, you know, you can run through $600,000. You know, you had big chains, trucks, all kind of shit. And he
Mm-hmm.
didn't even move far. He moved right in the fucking hood on the other side of the highway. But when he did that, I don't know, man. I lost my train of thought, but he's just a very good guy, very talented guy, and our something about our area, like I break Puerto Ricans up into three sections. I think you got the Guitos, um, you got the white Hispanics, the Guitos, and then you got the down by law. Pun was down by law because he always had the black style with him.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? When we was little, before he got with his baby moms, he had black girlfriends. So he was always like one of us. Like there was no separation. Like there was none of that. His family, we go up the house, his grandmother, his mother, they're old, Puerto Rican families, eat more. You want more food?
Right.
No. You know what I'm saying? But he was that Puerto Rican. Like he was really Afro Latino. It wasn't that separatist shit. None of that. And he was cool. He was really the guy. You know what I'm saying? When I say he was the guy for in a Puerto Rican sense, he would have been like the leader of Puerto Ricans on the planet. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because that nigga was just cool. He was like an East Side. If you ever been to the East Side of Harlem, got some super cool Puerto Ricans down there. And they're not like the Guitos. Them niggas is sharp. They on their one. You go to Columbus Avenue on the west side, them projects on 101st Street. You got some fly Puerto Ricans down there that they just got that thing with them. And Pun was one of them. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
Right.
He was easily one of them.
Very dope. How'd you end up on Little Kim's hardcore?
Big through Biggie. Funny, everybody talks about this performance at the Mars. Everybody who was going to be somebody or someone, Matty C at the source was the fucking guy. I mean, my man Matteo Capilongo, Italian and black guy. Uh, he was the Optimus Prime of hip hop. It was him, Scott Free,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody else. And I think the Wu came in through Scott Free. I'm not sure because I think Scott Free was from Staten Island.
Yep.
But yo, bro, Sean C, Scott Free, Matty C, the three C's. Shit. Um, Matty. Actually, that night, me and Tariq performed together on stage because I didn't. I was so scared of the stage, but Tariq gassed me to do it. I got it there. We performed a song we had called "What's the Motive," and we did that. And then Tariq did the Drug War Rages stuff, and he did a song called "Uptown Thing." And it was after that performance, Biggie was there. We didn't know who he was. He did Party and Bullshit, and everybody was there. The Wu was it was like hip hop was so consolidated back then. I think most definitely was there. I'm talking about this is when everybody is nobody.
Right.
I'm talking about everybody is nobody. This we the next ones coming in. And John Forte, I got cool with John Forte. Um, I really all of my connections in the music industry, some people that I'm friends with to this day, came through the brand Nubian dancers, I Truth and Talim. The other dude, Tim, me and Tim was cool. Tim lived like down on 38th Street. We were cool, but we didn't interact too much. He wasn't like the Sigma so far as, yo, we going over here, we gonna go meet these people. It was always I Truth first and DJ Talim second. They're the focal people that brung me into the entertainment industry.
Mm. So,
So that's the wrap up of that time. So Little Kim, see, when you got beats, and I want to say this to all producers out there, when you got beats, you can approach anybody. Yo, excuse me, yo, I do beats. I want you to listen. Here's my flash drive. That's it.
mm-hmm.
Back then it was, yo, here's my cassette. Here's my CD. I do beats. It was that simple. And I could approach anybody. But me and Big were cool when he was performing. Yo, look, right, there's a picture I put up of when he recorded Think Big. I want y'all to look at, you go to the Minnesota underscore Money Boss page and look at how Biggie was dressed. He had on a Lugs outfit. True Yardman from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
Mhm.
Dylan, 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 and Dylan. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't have the style in.
Right.
So, man, I hate that shit that happened with Big, man. I really do because we were in a Land Cruiser, right? He had a Land Cruiser. He had just broke his legs. He was on the co-pilot. Wait, I could be wrong. It's me, my partner Al G, and Father Time. We in the back seat. And Buster's in the driver's side, Biggie's in the co-pilot. Okay. And my man Al G, he played too much, so he's in the back seat laughing at the bumps on Big's neck. You know, my man Al G is crazy. But we playing beats, and Buster goes crazy off of one of my beats, right? And Biggie said some shit, and I was like, I got something I was playing around. And I said something that I had penned for Tariq, a song called Uptown Thing. And Big didn't say nothing. He was like, yo, you gonna be my artist. And I'm like, whatever. I was like, Big, I don't rhyme. I said, I ghostwrite. He was like, you rhyme now. The day he got killed, he called me 6 o'clock New York time, which was 3 o'clock in LA. He said, Minnie, when I get back, you and Buck Wild got what I need. I'm signing y'all.
Mm.
And I knew Undias. I don't know if he told Undias that I was the secret weapon. Because Cam went to Undias. I could have went at the same time, but I didn't. And Cam got on and I didn't. But Big was like, nigga, he told me, he said, Minnie, when I come back, he said, you and Buck Wild got what I need. And he said, when I get back, you gonna rhyme. I said, okay. At this time, he's Big Papa by now. You know what I'm saying? Then we had bumped into each other in Chicago. I was out in Chicago on some business and then bumped into him. He was like, yo, what are you doing in Chicago? I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. I'm chilling. He's like, Big fucked with me. So my work with the Brooklyn guys, because see, a lot of Bronx and Brooklyn is like oil and vinegar. I mean, oil and water. We don't not to say they don't rob people in the Bronx, but Brooklyn is known for robbery. They will take some shit from you. You put your bag down, your bag is gone. They're gonna take your shit. That's just, and then in the Bronx, now they robbing up them, but back then, Bronx guys are hustlers like Harlem. We don't get the credit for it, but a Bronx guy's gonna figure out a way before he come knock you over the head. In most cases.
Mm.
So I mean, my family is from Brooklyn. I didn't even notice it. My whole production career was Brooklyn.
Mm.
Brooklynites really know they fucking music. But me and Big was cool, man. Big love when I would be around. I love being around him. It was like your friend turns to a star. You're not nobody I grew up with, but I'm getting cool with you. I'm getting cool with your guys. Like, I'm coming out to Brooklyn. He was ready to come up to the Bronx before he passed. He was like, yo, I'm coming up there to chill with you, yo. It's just, yeah, I hate that story, man, for him because he didn't deserve that.
Right.
You know, he really didn't deserve that. Sometimes, but see, like, look, right. If I got a crowd of niggas around me, I could move the finger like Malcolm X and make those niggas move.
Mm-hmm.
Big, I noticed when he had the wild niggas around him, he wasn't the leader of those niggas. He was still little Big around his niggas. So they probably were doing shit around him. Like it probably was a nigga on the team, like, yo, so and them's on the way over here. Get them niggas. Cause that's just Brooklyn life. I got cousins from Brooklyn. I know how they operate. We've taken some shit. But it all fell back on him when it wasn't Big, man. That wasn't his thing.
Right.
I was around him enough to know that, sometimes you in a circle, you get blamed for the circle type movement. So, he was the one who got rich, but I don't think he was the one calling the shots. You get what I'm saying?
Right. No doubt.
So
We could be here all night talking about your lengthy discography, but briefly go through some of the artists and some of the songs that you produced for those artists for those who may not know that Minnesota was on the boards.
Oh man. Murder Inc., G Unit, Most Def. Of course, I got to go back to Pooh and them. I got some new things coming out too. I just did a smoker for Pharaoh Munch.
Mm.
Whatever his project is coming out. And De La, I'm waiting for them. I'm so mad at them. I'm mad at De La Soul. I swear, man. They didn't get to get Dave's vocals on. There's a record I got coming out with De La, and I'm so proud of it. It's my most proudest production that I've ever did because it's not Minnesota waiting for another nigga's moment. You know, sampling is cool, but it's Minnesota on the keyboard. My whole creation from my spirit. And it's a bad record. And it's such a record that if they release it, they on top of the world. I'm like, Dayla, what the fuck are you niggas waiting for? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, production wise, this is hard. Memory is a little going back is a little hard for me.
Trick Daddy.
Trick Daddy, Lil Wayne, Scarface, Baby from Cash Money, of course, Little Kim. Most Def is my guy. I did a joke with Talib that I don't know if he still had it or if he's ever going to put it out called Are You Sure You Want to Go to New York City? Matter of fact, I just used the beat for another artist named G Wash. It's G Washington and Goods. And it's called New York City. And then I got my solo album out, which is Once Upon a Handshake, Minnesota Money Boss. Me and G Wash, we did a song called Vladimir, talking about Vlad TV.
Mm.
It's not friendly. I really spewed how just personal thoughts, my opinion.
Right.
Big Pun on his first album, Big Pun on his second album. I did New York Giants with MOP. So you know, I'm for me, I got much more to do. You know what I'm saying? And I got my little. I'm trying. I got another smoker with Saigon.
Mm.
You remember the rapper Saigon?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know. He's another one. I don't know what these niggas is waiting for. I don't know if they waiting for the zombie apocalypse. Like, put the records out. You know what I'm saying? But I got a few like good hip hop records floating around out there. And I got some more stuff coming. And I've been doing a lot of DJing. I love DJing. I'm always down in the sushi spots in the city. Shout outs to Raw Like Sushi. Those are my guys. They always call me Diamond D, Large Professor, Pete Rock. And I just be pissed off with them because I always miss Anderson .Paak. And right now, he's one of my favorites. I like what Anderson .Paak is doing.
Right.
That's it, man. That's it, you know?
Right. So what's in 2025 keeping Minnesota inspired to make great music, and what do you have upcoming in the future?
Well, Sidewalk Executive, I'm gonna record it. I really am. And I'm really gonna record Sidewalk Executive. I'm getting ready to put the pen to the paper on that. And just organizing this house. I got thousands of records. This shit look like a messed up record store. I don't even want to do a 360. I'm organizing records. For 2 weeks, I've been going through samples. This is how many records I got in here. Because I inherited a collection and I don't know what it is. So I'm going through it now. I'm starting to put everything back in its place. So, you know, more music. You know what I'm saying? I got somebody who's gonna tie me into some more television work. Because y'all know I worked for HBO before, so I'm getting ready to do some more stuff with them. That's it, man. I'm getting it where I can fit in. It's wherever I can fit in. But from me personally, I will say this: I have a new music form. I haven't copyrighted the name of it yet, but it's dance music. It's going to be able to complete. It's going to be able to blow. What's that shit? What's the Afro beat? Afro beats. It's gonna kill Afro beats. Niggas ain't gonna want to hear Afro beats when I do this stuff. But we getting ready to get that out of there and get. I'm just work. I like to let the work talk. I don't like to be like I'm this, I'm doing that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you say it and then because you was on the phone with somebody and they find somebody else to do it cheaper and you don't get the call back. So now you sound like a fraud.
Right.
So I like to let it come out, land, and then I think right now there might be a changing of the guard because I see the gatekeepers are under suspicion right now, or they even going through stuff. So,
Right.
I cruise at the altitude that the universe let me cruise, and when I'm in there, I'll catch my win. I'm not fighting artists, other producers, because you look at what Puffy is going through.
Mm-hmm.
Puffy don't like me at all.
Mm.
Never did. Never will. Not to say I was a big faction of, but it was a lot of things that went down back in the days where niggas was getting our records removed off the radio. It was a lot. Like,
Mm.
and Puff was a part of having the red dot on our head. So when he couldn't get the money boss players down, because I remember, like I told you, Tim Dog Patterson and Mark Pitts was under him. And once that incident had happened, they didn't want to mess with us because that was like unheard of, like niggas really thugging to the point where I'm throwing Moet bottles in the crowd. We're carrying guns. Like it might have happened, but we were definitely on board to use them. And we couldn't be controlled. Like when I see what's going on now, I think the industry knows who they can control and who they can't. I
Mm-hmm.
think the niggas like, nah, not them. So we were pretty much blackballed. You know what I'm saying? But Puffy don't like Minnesota. And I'm not gonna say I don't like him because I don't know him enough to not like him. I went down there to meet him. We're going up on one elevator. He's getting out of there on the other elevator. So the industry is weird. I'm not mad at the industry for being weird. And whatever comes, I'll deal with it. I know my man Most Def, he living out in I want to say Paris, France, Spain, one of them shits. We spoke on WhatsApp. And whenever he decided to come, I just work with him. It just happens. It's not like, I spoke to Ghostface. I submitted 10 to Ghostface about a week ago. So I got to call and check up with him. So,
Mm.
I don't want to say, yeah, and deplete the energy, but I'm still submitting. And,
Mm.
I love Raekwon and Ghost. I hope to be a part of Ragu if that ever happens, but,
Right.
you know,
Now, is Minnesota looking for any new artists to work with?
singers. I hate rappers. I'm sorry to say that. I want singers because the music that I have is something like what Nile Rodgers did in the 70s and 80s. It's time for a black form of up tempo soul love music. I want to bring love music back because who the fuck are y'all? Who gave y'all the right to take love off of the radio? I hate it. I want to hear some do I, you're the greatest dancer. I want that back.
Right.
I think we need something warm where people could get off, they could dance and be hearing something saying, something saying, everybody dance, do 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 do, clap your hands,
Right.
clap your hands. We need that back.
Right.
We need that.
You're exactly
So
right.
I'm infuriated. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm infuriated how they demonetize love. Like I want to hear all the fly R&B shit. I want to be a part of it when it. So I got a new music, and they're not gonna say the Puerto Ricans started it. Or it was influenced by. I hate when they do that now. That's what the new thing. They be like, "You niggas y'all co-created nothing. Get out of here." You know.
Right. So, where
But
can artists
yeah.
find Minnesota to work with?
Oh, Minnesota underscore money boss on Instagram, and for me now, I just need singers. You can hit me at me personally. My page is Minnesota underscore money boss players underscore DX. That's me on the gram. The other pages, I don't even know. I have to check them every couple of months. Like, oh, wow, that's cool. You put that up? Oh, yeah, yeah. So I got to catch what my guys are putting up
Right.
on the other page. You know what I'm saying? So, that's it. And I've been in talks with Eric Beasley about something. Eric Beasley is the owner of URL.
Mm.
I've been screaming at him for a few years now. Now he's coming around like, oh, okay, yeah, you might be right.
Right.
So, fingers crossed. If I get that, I'm gonna be the first one to work with all the URL the
Mhm.
battle rappers, because I think I can show them niggas how to make songs.
Right. For sure. Well, Minnesota, I want to thank you for everything that you've done for the culture, everything you're continuing to do for the culture. Before we get out of here, any last words for your day one supporters and those who
Stay,
you found on the way?
stay out of shit. Don't step in it.
No doubt.
Life is we in a post COVID world. Stay out of shit. Don't step in it. It's a lot that's gonna come at you. People want to come at your health. People want to come at your body, and this is like I'm into this stuff. Like I do a room at night on Clubhouse called Minnesota's House. I'm the biggest. I'm one of the biggest. What they would deem me as a conspiracy theorist. But you know, we do that at night, and y'all could come in there and just listen. It's called Minnesota's House on Clubhouse, and we get into it, man. We talk about synthetic biology, optogenetics, histogenetics, synthetic biology, the oh my god, the agenda to connect our bodies to the Internet of Things. Now we get into it.
Mm,
So that's my other thing, knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So y'all could come in and hear us curse each other out at night on Clubhouse, Minnesota's House. We usually start around 9, 10 o'clock. Or I'm either if I'm not in my room, I'm in Hocus 4/5, the rabbit hole.
okay. Very dope. Like I said, that's the one and only Minnesota. I am the journalist Sin-seer. This has been another episode and a great one at that of History Lessons. Until next time, we'll see you then. Thanks.
All right, peace. Peace.